Cuts and bruises was the only love she knew. Pain was the only affection she felt. All the hits and pounds she couldn't defend. Lost and intimidated by his violent hands. Frightened for her life. All she did was obey his commands. Too scared to take a stand. Days got duller. Smooth skin became rough. Pain and scars became permanent. Every day she yearned for help. Yet fear held her tongue to speak. Doubts and insecurities made her weak. Every day, she had to live a lie. Makeup and sunglasses, worn to cover the truth. Smiling on the outside, but crying within. She had a voice that no one heard. Depressed and alone. Forced to call hell her home, sweet home.
view on violence against women would be a very negative view because I believe that women and men should be treated the same and no woman should be abused, well, depending on what the issue is. I think it's a negative impact because it affects not only the person who's being abused, but but the family, kids if involved. And it's also very traumatizing for women to be abused in such violent ways.
It's a common thing in the Pacific as well as Samoa. Um, it's a process whereby an individual, a man, hits a woman, and it's it's an ongoing thing, struggle. So I think it's quite bad. It needs to be addressed, and it has. There's been laws passed, especially against violence against women, and the nature of it is just very bad. It's a negative influence, and it's a bad practice. I hope no person does.
What I know about violence against women is that the victims are mostly the unemployed women.
Okay, my view about violence against women is that it is really common in the Pacific, and it's not only about physically abuse but it also includes being verbally abused, and it's mainly targeting women. And so I think that it is something that is common in the Pacific, and especially in rural areas when it comes to Samoa.
In few months ago, there's one of my friend back in Vanuatu where her name was going worldwide for violence against women, and she was being beaten up by bus drivers only for Facebook, uh, and he was beaten so badly that there's been a protest against for violence against women in Vanuatu up to the Parliament House, where the Prime Minister said he's going to look at the issue very seriously. She was the news of that violence was going worldwide, where everybody knows now, like Vanuatu is a place where this violence against women is very at this higher rate.
The issue is really important because if as human beings, women are human beings, and so as human beings we have rights, and if we don't address this issue and try to eradicate it, then it will increase, and there will be nothing that can be done to end this problem. So women are human beings and they have rights, and if we don't address and see the importance of this issue, then we will never be able to end this kind of violence. Yes, I do think this issue is important because women are human beings. They do get hurt, they have feelings, they feel pain as much as anybody else does, and it isn't right to abuse women in violent ways. There are different ways to resolve problems, but say violence against them isn't a way, or isn't a moral, ethical way to resolve problems.
This issue is very important in, I will say, in the whole world, because during the olden days, we all know that only men are allowed, or men or boys are allowed to make decisions at home, or in a community, or even in a country. Men are also, or we can say, they are the powers. They have the power to make any decisions, no matter it's good or bad, but everyone has to follow. So I think the issue is very important to discuss in I can say in the whole world, because as from my understanding, there's only few countries in the Pacific, or as the world as a whole, that they are dealing seriously with violence against women. For example, Vanuatu, where I come from, violence against women is very, very important. we are trying. My country was trying to make some rules or regulations that women will have the same right as men. So that, for example, women can be a boss or a leader in the community or even up to the parliament. So far, in few uh, parliamentary sessions, we have two or three ladies as members of the parliament for representing their society or their community.
This issue is quite important in our society because we women needs to be respected. We need the respect we deserve. And well, beating us up, that's not what you call respect.
The message I want to deliver is that men and women are equal. No one is superior or inferior to the other. Therefore, women should not be looked down on.
The message I want to deliver to the world or everyone is we have to stop violence against women. One thing we have to know that we are, or we said, we born out of women. We have to respect the woman in what they did when we are born. Our mothers, they are called women. They are looking after us when we are so small. Until we grow up, we start to gain strength. So that means it's not only to respect our mom, but it's to respect every woman in the world.
To all the women out there, you are not alone in this. Let your voice be heard. People around you cares about you more than your partner beating you up. And we will always be there to support and help you no matter what happens. Right or wrong, we will stand by you and help you through whatever problem it is you're going through. Just remember that you are not alone. And there are millions of people out there that are willing to help you.